Hello. Well, that was a big one. Golden Knights absolutely had to have that one. No doubt about that. That was a nervy one, especially after the game. The Golden Knights went down there 1-0. I mean, that's the kind of goal that you pay Jonathan Marchessault for. That's the type of goal that saves your season. That's the type of goal that, if we look back to this team doing absolutely anything, that's the goal that we're going to be looking at. That's the one that we're going to be talking about. And that's the goal that I think everybody's going to be most excited about, in that one, for the most part, saved the season. I'm at the space. I am on the back porch with the camera faced towards the main stage because the internet is very good out here. And for some reason, Periscope just hates the space. So at the moment, we will be doing these on YouTube for at least this one. And then we'll figure it out moving forward. I think I'm probably going to move to YouTube moving forward anyway, because Periscope kind of sucks. Okay, yeah, we will upload this later. I thought it automatically upload. The last one did. Maybe I got to fix that sideways image there, but we'll get to that. Not worried about that. Technical difficulties aside, let's talk about the heroes of the night, because there were a few. And the main heroes of the night, obviously the one that jumps out, there's three: Marchessault, Tuch, Fleury. Those are the three that I think make them obvious, the most important. Clearly Marchessault with that big-time goal. Fleury making all the stops maybe in the first period were probably the biggest ones. As the game went on, you get the goal from Tuch. You get the second goal from Tuch. Couple of saves down the stretch. Very good play in the neutral zone by Marchessault, Smith, and Carlson late in that game to make sure that they get out of that thing in the good position, getting the hooking penalty. Janmark, I thought, had an excellent game defensively. Golden Knights were solid. I didn't think they were at their absolute best in this particular game. I think they can be better moving forward, and they're going to have to be when they go up to Minnesota. But for the most part, I think this is the type of game that can start heading in the right direction. I don't think this is the type of game that you look at and you say, okay, well, now all of a sudden the Golden Knights are in a great position and they're going to go on and win this series. I think we've put it back to, we're now kind of in the coin flip. It's a 5-game series. They have home ice advantage at this point. Vegas has never won up there. There's a lot that they have to do to make things go better as this series goes on. I don't necessarily think playing the way that they played in this game from start to finish is exactly the formula to win this series. I don't think they created enough offensively. I thought they allowed a lot in their own end. They were reliant on Fleury being absolutely phenomenal. Where's the camera? Is the camera over here? Yeah, okay. So I'm going to keep looking over there. I just think this is the type of game, and I don't think it fully resembles the Dallas game as much as what I think I've seen a few people start to mention that it's like, oh, well, they lost the first game to Dallas. They won the second game. It was 3-0. Then, from there, things went on and things were better. But for the most part, to me, in this particular game, I would say more so, this is a step in the path towards things going a little bit better. It's not exactly the blueprint for what you're looking to do. I didn't think that they were generating massive amounts of offense in the offensive zone where, they can feel like all of a sudden that weight is lifted. I know that's a phrase that DeBoer used. I don't particularly love it because, let's be frank, was the weight truly lifted? Like, I don't really feel that way necessarily, because you're in a situation where, yeah, you get the goal right after it, and that's important. But then as the game went on, I felt like it was a pretty even game. Vegas catches that goal to give them the lead. Third period is somewhat back and forth. I'm not necessarily saying that's exactly what you want to happen. So as a whole, the main thing to me is seeing the heroes step forward. You saw Marchessault step forward. That shift is huge. Like, that shift is season-changing, season-saving. That's the type of stuff that you pay Jonathan Marchessault for. That's the type of goal that you absolutely need to have in that scenario to get away from having that, breakdown where you give up the goal and things look like they're going to go against you the rest of the night. So a big-time goal there. Fleury in the first period, that's hero stuff. Like, the Golden Knights were not good at all in this first period. They were a lot of times in their own end. They're getting hemmed in. They're giving up a ton of dangerous chances, a number of things happening right out in front of the goal, which is exactly the problem the Golden Knights have been having. Those are the type of situations that they have to avoid going forward. But if you get the play you got out of Fleury in Game 1 and Game 2, you should be fine, even if you have your moments and your lapses and your issues with the times when you're not necessarily playing perfectly. So that is a huge portion of what's going on. I'll talk about Pacioretty. I'll talk about Mark Stone, I think, is a huge story so far. Kirill Kaprizov has been a story so far. Where the goals came from for the Golden Knights, I think, is a big part. And what they were doing defensively to the Wild in this game, I think, is a huge part of what happened. But first, I want to tell you that today's YouTube Live / Periscope / whatever we're calling this one is brought to you by Conler & Associates CPAs. Conler & Associates CPAs are the experts in cryptocurrency tax, gambling tax, and any other tax-related questions that you want to bring to them. Go to conlercpa.com, give them a call, tell them that SinBin sent you, and they'll hook you up with a free consultation. They can hook you up with unemployment information, stimulus checks, PPP loan forgiveness, all sorts of good stuff. Tax day has passed, but that doesn't mean you don't need a CPA, especially if you're like me and you have a business and you don't really feel like dealing with all the business stuff. Get Conler CPA to do that. conlercpa.com. They're the best. They're my favorite. I don't know if I'm allowed to say they're the best, but they're my favorite. I think I am allowed to say that. All right, so let's get to where I think is the key to where this story is heading. And that is Kaprizov and Stone. They're not playing against each other all that often, but they have been a huge factor in where this series is headed. Right now, Mark Stone has not been able to get going at all. Today was not a good game for Mark Stone at all, in my opinion. There were moments where he looked like he was trying to create things, but for the most part, he's had the puck taken off his stick more often in this particular series than I've seen really at all in his entire time with the Golden Knights. So that is a huge concern to me, that you see that this team has had a good focus on getting after Mark Stone, and when they have gotten after Mark Stone, they have done enough to succeed in keeping him not only off the score sheet, but really off of the impact play sheet throughout this game. That's a big portion of this series that the Golden Knights have to win. Their top six has to outplay the top six of the Wild. If they do not, you will see problems. So if you get in a situation where the top six for the Golden Knights are struggling, or at least not generating offense, it's going to come down to whose bottom six is going to create more, and especially while Pacioretty is out, the Golden Knights are going to have a hard time doing that. The fourth line drowned exactly how I expected them to in this series today. They were very fortunate to not allow a goal. They gave up 7 high-danger chances in the 9 minutes or so that Ryan Reeves was on the ice. That is atrocious, and that is a huge concern moving forward when they go up to Minnesota, where they do not have last change, and they're in a position where they do not have the ability to control the matchups nearly as much as they can in this case. So they need more out of Mark Stone. That's their portion. However, when you flip the script and you look at the other side, all of the offense, for the most part, is coming from Greenway, Eriksson Ek, and Foligno. There has not been a lot of offense from Kevin Fiala. There has not been any offense really at all from Kirill Kaprizov. That is massive for the Golden Knights. That is step one in taking Minnesota from being a 2.5, 3, 4 goal team a night to a team that's going to struggle to get to 2. That is what the Golden Knights have done in the first 2 games. That's why through 2 games, they've allowed 2 goals. That's a huge part of what the Golden Knights are going to do in the rest of this series. They have to keep that up. They have to find a way to continue keeping Kaprizov to the outside, not allowing him to wheel through the neutral zone, not allowing him to forecheck, and mainly not allowing him to sit behind the goal and allow both Zuccarello or Hartman or both to get to the front of the goal. Huge part of this series. Golden Knights did a whale of a job on that front today. But I do think if you were to tell me Mark Stone's going to do nothing, Kirill Kaprizov's going to do nothing, what's going to happen in the series, I'm not 100% sure I would take that as a complete wash. I think Stone needs to be better than Kaprizov. I think Stone needs to make more of an impact than Kaprizov has made. I think that's a huge part of what's going on. That absolutely needs to happen. So that portion of it, and I'm probably going to write about it tomorrow to kind of show how the matchups have gone, where the matchups have gone, where those guys have started, where they've ended, where some of these issues have come from. Why is Mark Stone not having the success? Is it line mates? Is it defense going against him? Is it the defensemen that are playing with him? There's a lot of different aspects in it that we're going to dive into a little bit tomorrow. I'll write that article at some point tomorrow, and we'll get a little bit deeper into that. But if you flip the coin and you look at Kaprizov not being able to do much himself, that's a huge part of why the Golden Knights have had the success that they've had defensively in this series, and why I think they can continue along the lines of 1, 2, somewhere in there, goals per game. I do think we're going to see a little bit more of an open game when they get back to Minnesota. I think here in Vegas, Minnesota is happy with playing a little bit more defensive, a little bit more of that collapsing style. I think at home, when they have their matchups, they're going to take advantage of it a little bit more. They're going to push the pace a little bit more. I think Vegas is going to have to be better in transition, better in the neutral zone than they were today. I don't think they were bad today, but I don't think they were at their absolute peak. And I think as we go back to Minnesota, you're going to have to see them pick it up even a little bit more. One thing I did notice from Minnesota today, and I'm not 100% sure why they went down this road, is they were looking for more quantity of shots as opposed to the quality that they were getting in the first game. In the first game, they scored 1 goal. It came in overtime, so they basically went the entire game getting shut out. So did the Golden Knights. But they were getting a lot of chances in close. They were getting a lot of opportunities where they were creating from below the goal line directly into the low slot, either on the goalie's left or right or directly in front of Marc-Andre Fleury. In this game, they were playing a lot more high to low. They would send the puck in, they would go forecheck it, grab it, take it, and send it back up to the top. Once they got it there, they were looking for opportunities to shoot the puck through traffic. That is how they scored their first goal, but I don't think that's a situation that is going to scare the Golden Knights all that much moving forward. The Golden Knights have done better at clearing the front of the goal when those situations have come. They've done better blocking shots than they had in those couple of games up in Minnesota. I don't think that they're going to allow a ton of shots that go all the way through from the point that Marc-Andre Fleury's not going to be able to stop. So that's a portion of the game that I'm kind of wondering why that adjustment has been made by Minnesota, and is it a benefit to Vegas? I would make the argument that yes, it is. The other reason for that is when you're forcing those plays out top, that allows Vegas to block shots and immediately get in transition. You saw that multiple times in this game. They didn't capitalize fully on their transition, but when they had a few different opportunities, and they could get Marchessault skating full speed, Janmark skating full speed through the neutral zone. Smith was carrying the puck in. They had the opportunity where Pietrangelo carried it in. That's how both of the goals came for the Golden Knights. Those are plays that the Golden Knights like to get out into transition. They like to use their skill as opposed to trying to set up in the offensive zone and break down a collapsed defense. That's not what the Golden Knights want to do. So for me, if you're the Minnesota, you should be looking to get the puck in deep and then work underneath the circles as opposed to back out front. I'm not sure why that changed. I found it weird that Matt Dumba, I'll read the quote, he specifically said something along the lines of they were trying to get more shots in front. Where is it? Jason tweeted it out. Oh, geez, why? He tweeted a shit ton of quotes today. My God. So somebody tell this man to calm down. I can't find it. I don't know. What? Oh, here it is. It was Dumbo. We watched the film and we wanted to get our shots up. It was the mindset. We talked about it today and we came out and we were doing that. They did get more shots. They had significantly more shots in this game than they got in the previous. But the shots, in my opinion, were not nearly as dangerous. And if you look at where the shot chart was today as opposed to the last game, and I'm going to try and pull it up. Maybe we can... Actually, it doesn't look as bad as I thought. They actually had quite a few in front. I thought they were working the puck to the point and then trying to get it more like what the Golden Knights were doing. It doesn't really show that on the heat map, so maybe I missed a portion of what's going on. The heat map actually shows most of their shots directly in front. I have to imagine that's mostly hack and whack rebound stuff. But to me, they were making an attempt to get more shots on goal, and I don't necessarily think that's going to harm the Golden Knights, because I think it's a style that the Golden Knights are going to be used to playing against. They're very good at blocking shots, especially when Martinez is in the lineup, and that can feed transition. When you shoot the puck, that does allow rebounds that can send the puck out the other way. So to me, that's something the Golden Knights want to look at and see how can they take advantage of some of these opportunities where the Wild are trying to get a little bit more offensive opportunity. The first period is the one that really freaks me out the most, though, because you go back to what the Golden Knights have been talking about for these last 2 days. Most of the comments have been about, we got to get a fast start, we got to get out to the lead, we got to be winning after period 1. We don't want to be playing in a 0-0 game nearly as long. They come out today, and they kind of got beat up all over the ice in that first period. They were losing every single stick battle. They were in a lot of different positions where they didn't want to be, hemmed in their offensive zone, not being able to get out of their zone, having a number of icings, having the wrong guys on the ice at the different times. They were not in a good position in that first period. Fleury was phenomenal. If Fleury was not absolutely unbelievably lights out early in this game, the Golden Knights probably go down by 1 or 2 in that first period, and it makes you wonder what happens if the game extends a little bit further with the Golden Knights being down. Luckily, it's like 18 seconds after they give up the goal. Marchessault goes in, rips one. I think Talbot should probably stop that. Fortunate for the Golden Knights that they're able to get one that way, and then we go on from there, being able to make something happen. So I think that's a portion of the game that they got away with, that I don't think you can start poorly like the Golden Knights did in this game up there in either of these 2 games. You do not want to fall behind. You do not want to be playing in a position where you're behind for more than 15 seconds, which is all it was today. You could see and feel, especially in T-Mobile Arena, the deflation that came with that first goal. There was certainly a feeling of like, oh no, here we go again. What's going to happen from here? And you can't really have that. So they were able to get away from that, but you got to start better. And especially when you say your focus is so much on starting better, to then come out and in this game not start any better is massively concerning to me, and something that I think they absolutely have to look at what went wrong in the first period today, what went right in the first period of the other game. That's where you would be looking to make something happen. Yeah, if I didn't fully catch the question about Reeves, but yeah, I don't understand how he's even in the lineup. He's been an absolute disaster for the Golden Knights the entire season. It was even worse today. I just don't get it. Every time he's out there, they're in danger of giving one up. And if there's a bad matchup, it's even worse. I think that's the main spot that Minnesota has the benefit against Vegas, is their depth is a lot better, especially when Pacioretty's out. As far as Pacioretty, I do not know what's going to happen with Pacioretty. I saw him in the press box again. That's both games that I've seen him up there. I'm not 100% sure that this guy is going to be back in this lineup when we get up to Minnesota. I'm not horribly convinced of it. I don't exactly know what it is. I am definitely concerned about that. We will see moving forward where this goes. To me, I'm not horribly confident the Golden Knights are going to win this series at this point. I'm not saying that they're definitely going to lose the series. I feel a lot better right now than I did when the score was 1-0, even when it was midway through the game. I don't really know how you can feel horribly confident that the Golden Knights broke out of their scoring woes here. I don't know what Pacioretty's issue is. I don't know if it's concussion. I have no idea. I don't have an answer for that. So I don't even have a guess, to be completely honest. I've heard some different things, but nothing that I would even remotely want to go on record with. The next thing is overcoming that building. We have to remember the Golden Knights have never had success there. The Golden Knights have never scored a bunch there. They've lost leads up there. They've been behind a lot up there. They have to put themselves in a position where they play good hockey early. I think the best thing that they can do at the beginning of the game, next game specifically, is go straight into shot suppression. I don't think they actually have to come out and look for massive amounts of offense early in this game. I think Minnesota's going to want to come out and play a heavy, fast style, early in that game where they're getting in on the forecheck. They're making life difficult on Vegas, a lot like what they did in the beginning of this game. If Vegas can cleanly exit the zone, get in the offensive zone, set up like they can, and then set that neutral zone up behind it, they can frustrate Minnesota in a home game, and they can drag these games out to be not higher scoring, which is not necessary. I don't think the Golden Knights want higher scoring. They cannot concede much because they haven't shown the ability to score, and I don't think that's going to change. So to me, you want to play that same style that has gotten you to this point, which is forcing the other team to really struggle to get a number of shots through, forcing them to struggle to get out of their defensive zone and through the neutral zone clearly, forcing them to put the pucks in behind you and then get out cleanly as often as physically possible and as safely as possible quickly, and then allow your offense to generate from that. That's what the Golden Knights did a majority of this season. They obviously did not have success up in Minnesota. They have to find a way to have more success up there. I do think the first goal is going to be very important. You do not want to fall behind in an odd-numbered game in a building where you have had little to no success this season or in your history. You have to find a way to get to the net and get one of those goals just like Tuck got, Tuck got to both of them. The ones that they were able to get, and especially that first, or the first Tuck goal, the second goal, it's effectively the game-winning goal. That goal is how the Golden Knights have to play. Get in on the forecheck, get to the puck first, and make the right decision by getting another player to the goal. The Golden Knights can break down this defense if they beat them to the zone. That's what they did on both of those goals. The Marchessault goal, they get a play in the neutral zone. Smith carries it in, holds, flips it up to Marchessault, who has the head of steam. They get in before the defense is set. They get a clean look at the shot. He's able to hit it through. The next one, puck goes in behind. Janmark wins to it. No defense is set. Tuck wins to the front of the net. You get that goal. Same thing. The other one's a power play goal. I'm not reading too much into that one. I don't think that one's all that big of a deal. Yes, it's again below the goal. That is a huge part of what they want to do. But I think that's a portion of the game that the Golden Knights have to look at if we do get into the offensive zone before they have a third man or a fourth man back. Can we immediately attack and immediately put pressure on them to possibly either get the shot through immediately or collect the rebound, have the opportunity where we're playing underneath the goal before they're set up, spread them out, get the more dangerous chances. That's what the Golden Knights were able to do today. That's why the Golden Knights were able to get that first goal and really change the course of this series. So that's kind of where I'm at. If you have questions, go ahead and put them in there now. I'll tell you that this Periscope or podcast or YouTube or whatever the hell we're calling this is brought to you by Conler & Associates CPAs. Go to conlercpa.com, tell them SinBin sent you, and we will hook you up with a free consultation. They'll chat and get all your business or tax-related needs taken care of. So go ahead and put some comments or questions or whatever in there. Does Max have herpes? Where in the fuck does that come from? I have no idea. I thought Janmark was excellent today. I thought Janmark did exactly what he needs to do, and that's play with speed and play the direct style of game. He helps create that second goal. He's a huge reason why they got that goal. That is a massive part of what they were able to do in this game. Why are they still rolling out that fourth line? I have absolutely no idea. Where is the camera? Over here? Yeah, that's what I thought. Is Stone playing hurt? I don't think so. I just think there's such a focus from Minnesota on taking away Mark Stone's time and space. If they limit Mark Stone, they believe that they're not going to give up much of anything offensively, and they're probably right. Yes, Marchessault sneaks one by them today. I think they look at that and say, we're probably not going to have all that much problem. So I think that's why you're seeing some of the problems that Mark Stone has had. Do you think Glass plays a game in this series? I do not. I think for Nosek, I saw somebody said who comes in for Nosek. I think what's going to happen there is they're just going to put Patrick Brown in. He's skated a couple of different times, or both games in the warm-ups. I would imagine he just goes into the lineup. What else do we have here? I'm trying to keep my hand out of the screen there. It looks real friggin' weird. What will it take for Riley Smith to get a goal? I think he's just got to keep working. keep getting to the front of the net, keep trying to get those opportunities. He has real good hands in around the goal. If he can get himself to the front of the goal, put himself in a position where he can have some of these rebounds, he can put himself in a good position to get one. I think that he's the type of guy that just needs to get the quantity in close. I don't think he's the type of guy that's going to be a goal a game, type of player, but if he's in there, if he's getting these chances, he should be able to get one before this series is out. Fleury starts in Minnesota. Yeah, I would think so. Why do they hate Cody? I don't think they hate Cody. I just think they know that at 5-on-5, he has not brought much. And to me, I don't think he's necessarily as good in the defensive zone as what they get out of the Noshiks and the Waz and the Yanmarks. And because of that, they, for some reason, believe that they have to have multiple enforcers or whatever the hell you call them down the lineup. I don't fully understand it, but that's what they decided they need. Reeves has to be in the lineup. Carrier has to be in the lineup. Kolazar seems to have to be in the lineup. I don't get it, but they're headed down that path. I don't see that changing anytime soon. I think Holden gets in if there's an injury, but only if there's an injury. Back-to-back games in 4 and 5. That's not right, is it? Am I missing something? I don't remember seeing back-to-backs on the schedule. Unless I'm missing something, I'll try and check this real quickly here, but I don't believe there's back-to-backs in this series. Yeah, there's not. Okay. So, yeah, I think right now it's Fleury's goal. I think Fleury would have to lose the goal. I do believe that I will stick with the same goalie can't lose all 4 games. So if they were to lose one here and then one in game 4 or 5 or whatever, if they put themselves in a position where they are behind in the series and up against an elimination game, I don't think they're going to let Fleury lose all 4 of them. I think that's the worst opportunity for everybody. I think everybody looks bad if that happens. To me, right now, you can't take Fleury out of that goal. He's given up 2 in 6 periods and 3 minutes. The ones that have gone in have both been impossible for him to stop. He's made every single stop that he's gotten. What are your thoughts on 3 game-winning goals from Tuck? Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, Gusev is obviously a healthy scratch. Not great. Is that it? Yeah, I think that's going to be it. I don't think I have a prediction yet. I'm nervous about them going up there because they haven't won up there. They don't have a single game that would have been a win in a playoff series in Minnesota. And I'm not a big believer in this belief of you can't win in a certain building or whatever. I don't think the matchup is a huge problem. I think a lot of it's coincidence that they haven't won up there, but I do think there is something to be said about the fact that they do believe it and they do understand it, and they know that they have not won up there. They have not had success up there. They have blown leads up there. So they have to be able to get out to a good start and really convince themselves that this is going to be fine. They are a confident team when they are given the reason to be confident. They do seem to be the type of team that is looking for something to go wrong at different times. This would be a place where they can look for something to go wrong. I think that first period is going to be big. Just as I said, that first game was huge. I thought the first game was the type of game that if Vegas won it, they could take a stranglehold on this series and put themselves in a position where they should be able to win this series without a problem. That did not happen. So now you get to this game, they absolutely had to win this one. We know if they lost this game, that was probably curtains on the season. Luckily, that did not happen. So now we're in a 5-game series. We're in a situation where they're getting great goaltending. They were able to keep the Wild in a position a lot better in this game, in my opinion, less dangerous chances outside of that first period. I think they're in a fine spot, but I do not think you can sit here and say the Golden Knights are an absolutes to win this series at this moment. They have to play better than they did even tonight, definitely than they did in the first game. I think they can do that. They just have to prove it to all of us that they can do it up in Minnesota. It starts with that first period. It starts with the first 10 minutes of that first period. They have to come out, play a good game, put themselves in a good position, feel like they can win in that building. That's a huge part of it. If they can win game 3, the opportunity gives all in the Golden Knights' hand for game 4. If they come back with a split, I think that's perfectly fine. So this is the big-time game. I say it all the time. Odd-numbered games offer opportunity to one team and pressure to the other. Today, the team with the pressure is the one that responded. That usually we call it desperation. The Golden Knights, I don't think were the more desperate team in this game, but they had the pressure on them. They found the goals when they needed them. They got the big-time goal from Marchessault. They got the great game from Fleury. That's exactly what they had to get. They were able to get it. Now, go up there, get some hero play, same type of thing. Find other people. A lot of guys on this team can be heroes. They can get it from Carlson and Stone and Theodore. Pietrangelo can do it. We've seen it from other guys. Martinez has done it at different times. This is a huge opportunity to go up there, take it to them in game 3, and put all the pressure on Minnesota. That's what they need to do, but they have to be able to start fast. If they go behind, things are going to get really, really difficult in this series. They cannot let that happen. That's the most important thing to me. That's it for tonight. I'll see you next time. I don't know how to cancel this. Oh, boy. Is it cancel? How do you end? Oh, jeez. Oh, it's this X. Oh, there's an X right there. All right. See you later.